It's Week 17 of the National Football League, where we'll see this team's towering tight end. He should be one of his quarterback's best friends this week. This should be a good one to watch. And it comes your way next.
EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
Set to go now on a wet and rainy afternoon. And this one is underway here on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their second-year quarterback.
And the numbers were not pretty. I mean, they don't look right. When you throw 2 interceptions, no touchdown passes, there's no way to really make that work. But I thought there were a lot of positives in watching his game tape. I think he's close to putting out a good performance. Let's see if he can flip those numbers around in this game. And, of course, rally his team to a win.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here, second down. The numbers for him from a week ago: 16 carries, 68 yards.
And when he went over 1,000 yards last week, you know what it did for their offense? It gave them a true identity, because everyone's going to talk about this. The offensive line's going to take pride in it. Of course, the guy carrying.
And he's going to be brought down here in the backfield. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Getting into the act on the opening drive here with a sack. And remember, they had 5 last week.
And they saw that on film, and that meant that they had to get together. Offensive coordinator, quarterbacks coach, offensive line coach, receivers coach, and say, how do we beat this pressure? Because everyone has to win against the defense and get the ball out of the hands of the quarterback very quickly.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And an off-balance throw there, and it's going to wind up incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And leading the charge, their lefty QB.
And I thought in last week's game, he found a way to win like a good pitcher without his best stuff. I mean, he did throw 2 interceptions, offset by 1 touchdown pass. Not the ratio, not the numbers you're really looking for as a QB. But finding a way to win, that's all that really matters.
And he'll work this one up to about the 38. These are his numbers from last week's contest. 13 carries, 67 yards.
Well, to no one's surprise, he gets an early rep right there, and they've been playing their best ball this season as they've built this winning streak. And that includes the ground game, where he's kept the offense productive and put them in position to win ball games. The question now is, can this defense that he's facing do what others haven't and finally put a stop to this streak?
15 yards on the play, first down.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field, and here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And a quick throw here, that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39. So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. Great 15-yard effort on the ground there on third down to keep the drive going. Back to throw now on first down. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the first down sack.
Well, last game he had 2 sacks. Got another one here picked up right where he left off.
Brandon, he spent the entire offseason working on new moves, new techniques, trying to add to his arsenal of pass rush moves. Certainly paying dividends in what we've seen so far.
So second and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. They'll look to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they're going to be staring at a third and long here.
Tall task ahead of him here, needing a full 15 yards to move the chains.
On third down, they'll try and run for it on the draw. Down to the 25. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up fourth down. Now on fourth down, out comes the field goal unit here. Right hash mark, a 42-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And that'll make it 3-0 here in the first.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
And as this offense makes their way back out, it's AFC playoff race time as we give you a look.
Well, including this week, 3 weeks remain in the regular season, Charles, and it is going to be interesting to see how this playoff picture sorts itself out before we head into the postseason.
Competitive, entertaining postseason, that's what we're always striving for. But I think we get it during the regular season, too, because you never know how things are going to go during the final weeks of the season. Every team pulling out all the stops to get a better seed or just to get one of those 7 seats at the table.
They'll look to throw here on first down.
And that one to the right side and incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
And second and 10, he'll look to throw again. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this defense very strong in that victory from a week ago.
They sure did, and the key number to me was total offense allowed, which was barely over 100 yards. That's a heck of a sign that this defense is really putting all the pieces together and doing it cohesively.
First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. They give him 17 yards that time as that'll move the chains.
The first drive this unit had, they punted. This drive, much more polished, just looking crisper, aren't they, moving the ball?
Maybe the first drive was a little bit of a wake-up call. Probably a little bit angry that they had to punt the ball away the first time they had it. Got motivated, got to the sideline, said, okay, let's not let that happen here as we take over again.
And just not enough on the throw there, down around his feet and incomplete.
That one came up just a little bit short. I'm wondering, is he still a little bit tight as this game starts? What would you say? Maybe he's got to take the governor off of it?
Or maybe the donut off the baseball bat, like the guys
like
beyond that, sir. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards. And that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll only get this to the 17, well shy of what he needed. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. And his kick is indeed good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So they put together a good little drive there, but ultimately stalling out in the red zone.
Yeah, I know a lot of people look at it as a little bit of a negative. They didn't get 6 points out of it, right? Didn't get the touchdown. But that's actually okay. They got 3 points, able to give their defense a little bit of rest, let them settle down over there. So all in all, to me, that's a good drive.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The visitors' offense and their quarterback coming out for their second drive. And he's been very impactful when using his legs this year, both when the pocket breaks down and by design. You notice his name sits near the top when looking at the league leaders in rushing yards by a quarterback.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber who runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
2nd and 2.
And this throw incomplete. Now the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down. They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
And the slot man goes in motion left.
And they'll fake it on the jet sweep, and instead a handoff up the middle.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. And that'll bring up 4th. They had the 8-yard gain on 1st down, but unable to do much from there. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That's taken on the 25. These two teams all tied after 1. Second quarter now, and it's our home team with possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
On 1st down, he'll drop to throw. He's got a man. It's his tight end. That's complete. And down he goes at the 45 after a pickup of 9.
Ball spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and a yard.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw.
And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete.
And this offense on 3rd down today, just 1 for 3 thus far. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. Back to throw again.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 60 catches for him now on the year. This last one, a 1st down. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the 1st down.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 7.
Operating from the gun, Duckworth. And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
3rd and 4.
Looking to throw. Duckworth. And he's into the end zone for the receiving touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And his guys have taken the lead. There was no going through the progressions on that touchdown pass.
Yeah, nor was it necessary. His receiver won that route early, presented himself. No reason to wait. Go ahead and put it on him and score a touchdown.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. A 10-play drive that time.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his big wide receiver complete. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds.
Now a 2nd and 2.
On play action, they'll throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
The play action fake, they'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options downfield and forced the incompletion.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete.
He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Pressure comes and down he goes. And that'll bring up 4th down on a big sack with a loss of 5. So they bring out their punter as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. It's a return of 5 following a punt of 42 yards.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The home team's offense and their quarterback set to take the field once more. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
And that last drive was very, very balanced, pretty methodical. You think they go that route again?
I'm always of the school that until they stop me from doing something, I'm going to continue. And I think that that's exactly what they'll look to do. But the beauty is the balance that they've created sets up opportunities for big plays. Looks like a run, turn into a play action, and throw one deep.
Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Can't get away, and he's taken down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
They were in the top 5 in sacks in the league coming into this one. That's their 3rd one in this game. Obviously, pass rush has been a strength of this team all year long.
And apparently they're not satisfied with top 5. They want to climb that ladder.
Yeah, I think it goes back to their offseason. They decided to make it a priority, and it's working out.
A 40-yard punt, no return.
And they will take over 1st and 10.
They'll start this drive out on the ground.
To the 43, 2nd down.
Not a huge carry there on 1st down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on 2nd down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this will be scooped up by the defense. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half. Following the fumble recovery, Duckworth. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete.
Nice job by the defense figuring that play out and holding it to a short game, but I don't think the offense is going to be daunted. They actually accomplished their goal there. Now they've got them aware that they can throw a screen at them, maybe to slow the pass rush down a little bit, and they can throw it downfield.
2nd and 9 now. Quick hitter here. It's complete. Call it a gain of 6 on the play. And now we've got a 3rd down and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. It's a gain of 8, and it'll wind up moving the chains. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll look to throw again.
He's got Cook running the slant.
This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
2nd and a couple.
Again, he'll drop to throw.
Right back to Cook for another completion.
Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Back to throw. Duckworth. And he's got it. Touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down as his guys are able to extend their lead.
Partner, to me, that touchdown had something that was kind of rooted in that group seeing the future. And what I mean by that is they had a plan. Let's find a way to score right here before the half. And now to give us momentum going into the second half, give us that cushion that we're looking for. They got that accomplished, scoring right before the half ended.
A good hold in these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and the lead is now 17-3.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away.
And not wanting to risk anything here late in the half, he'll just take a knee and they'll bring the football out to the 25.
One more go for this offense in the first half.
And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 2nd and 4. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half.
Now a 3rd and 6.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's going to be another frustrating end to a drive here. This offense, they've not been able to get anything going in this first half. And now it's going to be time to gather on the sidelines and try and figure out what's going wrong. Who has an idea? Who has a plan? Time to implement it.
It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17 as we send you to our EA studios.
All right, we'll bypass the halftime show in favor of returning to this late season game with the teams coming back from the locker rooms here a bit early.
And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon getting set for quarter number 3 here.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And they have had their problems moving the ball through the air as we take you through some of the action from earlier. This secondary has played about as well as you can. Many times they've left this quarterback with nowhere to go with the football.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive.
And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think they get back in balance. It'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Second down and 3.
He'll look to throw. And he can't escape, and down he goes. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in 3rd and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
Now the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll drop to throw.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. Nearly their first pick of the game, but it does bring up 4th down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Call that a 46-yard punt with a net of 40 on the 6-yard return. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Throwing to start the drive.
Duckworth. A quick throw there is incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down.
Cook makes the catch on the out route.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw.
Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Cook. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he powers through the first wave, but he's going to be swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
Backed up here, tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the 1st.
From the gun on 3rd down. Duckworth eluding the pressure right. And he works his way past the line of scrimmage and then slides to a halt. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
Nice call on defense, rolling out the nickel package for that big 3rd down play, and they did an excellent job locking down coverage and forcing him to try and run for it, and he doesn't get there, which brings up a big 4th down call.
And this is good from 57 yards out. That was bombs away right there.
That also a career-long kick for the veteran, Charles.
Yeah, how about what he just got done there? We always knew he had a big leg, but how about everything coming together perfectly on that one? Great leg swing, and bang that one through.
And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
That one will set them back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Here's a give up the middle. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
Vision is so important for the man in the middle because his ability to look through all the clutter that's happening in front of him, diagnose a play, and then go make it and finish it, that's when the great ones know that they have the goods.
And he slides and covers up at the end as he's going to be able to pick up decent yardage.
Well, it's not going to be a first down, but that's a nice job of picking up yardage on 3rd and long. Sometimes you just have to take what the defense gives you, and in this case, it wasn't enough to pick up the first down.
And they'll send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
On 2nd down, they'll run it here. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets them back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. Looking to throw. Duckworth in trouble, and he's taken down. Call it a loss of 4 there on the sack. And speaking of the number 4, it brings up 4th down now. And they bring their punter out there now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Shrugs him off. They'll call it a punt of 44 yards. The return was for 7.
Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled-out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield after a gain of about 4.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains. On 1st down, they'll go to the ground attack.
And he gets forward up the middle, but only for a couple. It'll be 2nd down. From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd and 8.
He'll look to throw. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this 3rd quarter of play. Back now here on EA Sports as we're about ready to rock and roll for the 4th and final quarter. Looking to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line. And that is not near enough. Only able to gain a couple there. And it'll be 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. That is caught. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. They'll drop to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. They'll look to throw here on first down.
To the sideline and incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up.
And here's a handoff out of the gun.
Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense. And know what they say? Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He connected on his first. This time it's 39 yards away. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will close the gap down to 14. Well, with that field goal, you can argue they needed to get back within 2 scores, and they did indeed do that, but still a pretty uphill battle.
Still going to take 2 fourth-quarter touchdowns to get back into it. And as you and I know, that's a tall order against any NFL defense. They're going to need their own defense to make some plays as well to give them an opportunity.
And a nice return sets them up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. But now this offense comes back out onto the field. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. This offense so far on 3rd down, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 11. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. 3 yards all they could muster there, and it'll bring up 4th down. And on now is the punter, as he'll come on to kick this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt.
The visitors' offense and their running back getting set for this next possession. And he's had his fair share of troubles in this one, unfortunately. This defensive front has wreaked havoc throughout the contest, and he hasn't been able to create enough space to make something positive happen to this point. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Their defense was able to force the punt. That's the good news, but this is still a 2-score game, and they need points on this drive and in a relatively quick manner.
It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set them back on 2nd.
Well, collectively as a defense, Charles, I think if you get 4 sacks a game, you're feeling really good. Now they have 6 as a unit.
And that type of a number is just staggering because there's so many ways to try and counteract it. But in this case, they've got no answers for this unrelenting pressure coming at their quarterback.
They'll look to throw here. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
From the gun, he'll hand this off.
And a very short pickup there across the 15 to the 16. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Throwing left side, it's complete. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They go for it on 4th down, but come up empty. And the ball will go over on downs on the short side of the field. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover. So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Duckworth. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. The 22 is the line to gain here on 3rd down. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. And now for him on the season, that is his 80th catch, and the result is a 1st down. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down.
I don't care what sport you're playing. Everyone likes to build up a little momentum, don't they? And look at this, back-to-back completions to the big target at tight end.
That one not as profitable as the other, but still a decent gain. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further.
This one now, Charles, you'd have to think all but over.
I would agree with that because this offensive line, they've been physical from the first snap of the game, and it's taken a toll on this defense. And it was never more evident than on that play right there. They continue to move the line of scrimmage forward, and they open up enough space there to get their guy into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10. Over the middle, it's complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. That one covers 24 yards. It's a 1st down. They're going to look to throw. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Back to throw again. And his throw here's incomplete.
Nice back-to-back plays defensively. They're stacking momentum now. 1 incompletion, 2 incompletion. They're going for more.
Back to throw here. And that will be incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for them. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
They'll look to throw. That's to his running back, complete. And now this is going to depend on the spot. And they say he's just short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And as a result, possession switches hands. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I think sometimes when you're trying to get after the quarterback, maybe it's better to be lucky than great. Because I think on that one, he's just trying to get upfield and rush the passer. Instead, the tackle for the loss landed right in his lap.
They're going to drop him behind the line yet again, and things going from bad to worse. Just a loss of a yard there, but it's not going to help. Now they face a 3rd and 14.
Now that's a nice play. Got me fired up, partner. But can they do it back-to-back plays? All the training that you go through as a defense for these situations, when you have to get the ball back, everything you go through, holding up the runner, raking at the football, getting to the passer, knocking it out of his hands, whatever way, they have to get the ball back.
Now can they stand tall again for a huge 4th quarter stop? So plenty of smiles for the folks here as they head for the exits. It's a victory for their hometown guys. And it was their defense that led the way, allowing just 3 points, that lone field goal in the entire second half.
And remember the old adage, offense sells tickets. Defense does what?
Wins championships.
And in this game, maybe a championship wasn't won, but a game was by the defense, right? Held them to just a field goal. That's a heck of a job. I mean, when they went out there with that determination and a pretty good game plan, pretty good idea of what they wanted to accomplish, just love the execution, love the tenacity, love the way they finished.
So for the home team here, they avoid that 10th loss and move to 7-9 on the year.